everybody, how are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. So today we're going to finish up this beanie that we had started yesterday that looks like peppermint or candy cane or something along those lines. Either way, it looks really cute. And for those that started with us yesterday, or that didn't start with us yesterday, sorry, I'm still waking up myself here. We are using Red Heart Super Savory yarn in cherry red and white. These are both medium size 4 weight yarns, 100% acrylic, machine washable and dryable. And the way that we're doing these, or this hat, is we are putting a strand of the white and a strand of the red together and crocheting them in together. So instead of just using one strand of yarn, we're using 2. And it's making this really cute looking hat. Now yesterday we got through the part of expanding the hat to the size that we wanted it to be. And today we're just going to be adding length to the hat. Now since we're going for an adult small, we want it to be about 8 inches long. So before we actually get started, we're going to measure. So we're going to fold it in half. We're going to measure from the center of that little hole where we very first started, and we're going to go straight down and see just how long the hat is so far. So as of right now, we are right at 4 inches, so it's halfway done. So we need to go 4 more inches lengthwise. So we're going to take out our stitch marker, and we're going to put in our double crochet, and put our stitch marker back in. And then remember, for adding length, all we do is put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. So this is the easy part. I'm not doing the 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 2s and 1s and 1s and 1s and 2s and all that funny stuff. We're just doing 1 double crochet in each stitch to add some length. Oops, get it all the way in there. There we go. I really love how this is working up so far. I'm definitely going to have to use this doubled yarn idea more often. I know others have done it before, and it's not exactly a new idea, but it's new to me. And this is the first hat that I've made doing this. The only other thing I've made doing this is actually the first sweater I've ever made, which isn't complete yet, but I'm still working on it. It's a personal project that I've been working on my off time here. And it's actually turning out really pretty as well. I'm using lavender and charcoal for that one. As a matter of fact, I've got it sitting right over here. If you wanted to take a little peek, it's a little difficult to... There it is. It's starting to focus a little bit. You can see the bits of charcoal in there. You can mostly see the lavender, but you can see the bits of charcoal in there now. Now that the camera's starting to focus a little. But that's what that's starting to look like. And that's the only other project that I've done with the 2 skeins of yarn like this. And I really like how it turns out the way they mix together that way. I definitely think it looks a lot better than the variegated yarns. Although the variegated yarns are really pretty. I just like how this looks better. I like how it makes it thicker and warmer, and definitely gonna have to keep up with this idea, especially during these colder months. And if you live, we live in the South, so our cold months don't last very long, but for those of you who live up north or in other colder areas that stay colder longer, you could do this more often than I would down here in the South. At the end of this row, I'm going to measure again just because I'm curious to see how much each row adds. It feels like I'm doing it pretty, my stitch is pretty tight, but I'm actually not. It's just because the yarn's so thick. Making sure I don't skip one. See it curling up again, so just tuck it under. And this shouldn't take too awful long to finish adding these rows to add the length that we want. Maybe about 30-45 minutes or so, depending on how my hands want to cooperate this morning. Oops. As soon as I say that, they mess me up. Alright. That's the end of that row. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to measure again. I'll put us almost at 5, so it looks like each row is about 3/4 of an inch. Very nice. Alright. So now take our stitch marker back out again. Put our hook back in. And really, you could use stitches other than double crochet. You could do half double crochet, you could do single crochet. If you really wanted to, it would just take longer. Oh, come on, get in there. Just whatever stitch you like best, really. I generally just use the double crochets because they're a bigger stitch and it helps work up the hats quicker, so I can get more hats done and get more donations done and hopefully help make more kids smile, help keep more heads warm. Now you could probably even do a triple crochet, which is something I've thought about trying but haven't actually tried as of yet. Maybe I'll have to try that on stream one day. For those of you that do happen to be watching this this will be my last video for this week. Today is Wednesday, the 20th of December. Tomorrow and Friday I'm going to be pretty busy. We've got we're going out of town this weekend, and we've got some things to take care of, and we've got a donation to drop off at the hospital before we go out of town and things like that. So I've got some stuff to do on our Minecraft server before we leave for we're only going out of town for the day, so it's not like a huge ordeal, but I do still have a lot of planning and stuff to do. So this will be the last video for this week, and then next week, of course, is Christmas. So let me pull up the calendar real quick. I probably won't be back next week until, I'm gonna say, Wednesday or Thursday, maybe. Probably Wednesday. So I'll probably take about a week off. And just kind of spend some time with my family and go meet some other family members that I have yet to meet and see how that goes. And I'm sure it'll go well, but I am a little nervous, I will admit. But who's not nervous about meeting new people? I mean, come on. Yeah. Anybody tells me they're not nervous about meeting somebody new that is part of their family, I'll tell you they're lying to you. Alright, so we're at the end of this row. We're going to take out that stitch marker. We're going to put in our double crochet and put our stitch marker right back in there. And keep going. It's looking cute so far. Yeah, I'm really liking this hat. Might have to make myself one of these next year. Got too many projects going on to make one for me this year. I gotta still finish this up, and I've got to finish up my sweater, and I've got a big blanket project to finish, and then I've got another blanket to finish, and goodness gracious, so many projects, so many projects. So little time. But it's okay, because I love every second of it. Yeah, this has actually been a huge, 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 huge help for me. For those that don't know, I've got bipolar and severe anxiety. And crocheting really, and chainmail and other crafty stuff that I do, really helps to relax me and take my mind off things, and helps ease my anxieties and helps keep me from having to take quite so many pills. Which is a good thing, because I hate taking pills. I only take them when I absolutely have to. And even then, I try not to. I try to suffer through it. Like, no, don't make me. Yeah, crafting really helps. Like I said, it's not just crocheting, it's any kind of crafting. It's whether I'm building a house on our Minecraft server or doing something with chainmail that I'm just learning how to do thanks to my fiance, or crochet, or just anything really. I mean, designing my farm on Stardew Valley, or anything that's even remotely crafty. It's really relaxing and calming, and definitely helps take your mind off of things. Which is why I'm just so addicted to it. Alright, before I go to the next one, I want to measure again. Actually, let's turn it that way a little bit more. Just so we can see. I know it's not 8 inches yet, but I want to see how much further we have to go. We are at 6 inches, so we have 2 more inches to go. Alright, we're almost there. It is definitely looking super cute. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Alright, so put in our double crochet and put our stitch marker back. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to go out of camera there. And go back to doing 1 double crochet in each stitch. All the way around. Ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies. Sorry, I've only got like maybe 30 minutes of sleep last night, so I'm extremely sleep deprived this morning. I'm a little on the weird side, more than usual. I'm trying not to let it show too much. So far, I think I've been pretty good at hiding it, but that one kind of slipped out on me a little. Whoopsie. I'm gonna let go of a red somehow. Alright, get off. There we go. Alright. Need coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Speaking of chainmail, yes, it's a bracelet. I don't know how well you can see that. Hopefully my camera will focus. That my wonderful fiance made for me. Let's see. Nope, it's not really gonna focus correctly. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's oh, now it's gonna focus, but you can't really see the colors. Anyway, there's a light purple and a silver color rings alternating on it. It's really pretty. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's probably one of my most favorite pieces of jewelry ever. Only being topped by the things that my daughter made for me. And then of course he made a necklace to match, which was really awesome because now I can wear my pendants again. Alright, we're getting there. About halfway back around. My headset keeps tapping on the light above my head. Got those cat ear headset, and the ears keep hitting the lamp that's above my head. I keep thinking that there's a kid or something behind me tapping me. So I keep turning to see like, who's there. See, I told you, sleep deprived. I think I'll go take a nap after this stream. Try to anyway. Alright, back around. So take out the stitch marker, put a double crochet in there, put the stitch marker back, and we're gonna go again. Now before we get too far though, I want to see if this is going to be our last row. Because if this is, we're going to have to do our last couple of stitches a little bit differently. Okay, no, this will not be our last row. Okay. So this one and one more row. Which will put us just shy of 8 inches. But that's okay, because this is going mostly for an older child to teenager and not actually an adult. So that is perfectly fine to be 1/4 of an inch short. Or if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and do that one extra row and make it just a teeny bit longer. It's completely up to you. But I'm going to do this row and then one more, so I can show you how to end the hat and then weave your ends in. Weaving your ends in on this is very similar to weaving the ends in on a regular hat. It's just you have 2 instead of 1. Sorry, arthritis is kicking in this morning. Thicker yarn kind of aggravates it a little bit. It's the only downfall. We're almost done. Oops. Yarn got stuck on my ring and turned my ring around on me. Alright. Now take out our stitch marker. Oops, let go. Thank you. Put in our double crochet. Our stitch marker back in. If you haven't been using a stitch marker, you probably really want to use one for this last row, because we're going to want to stop 3 stitches before the end so that we can taper down from a double crochet to a half double, then a single, then a slip knot, so that it kind of tapers down instead of just a big jump from this down to that, and it's less of a gap. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get there. But just know that it is easier if you're using a stitch marker. Don't have to. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. Just to make sure, I'm going to measure one more time. And yep, just under 8 inches. So we're good for this to be our last row. You don't have to be like me and measure 900 million times if you're good at eyeballing and guesstimating and that sort of thing, but I'm not that great at it, so I use my tape measure constantly. We're almost there. Oops. There we go. Nope. I messed that up. Let me fix that. There we go. That's better. Alright, a couple more stitches. see, so 1, 2, 3. We could do 2 more. There's 1 and 2. Okay, so now we have 3 stitches left before our stitch marker. We're not counting that one because that's the first one of the next row. So in this one, we're going to do a half double. So yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up, pull back out, yarn over. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're going to use this one and pull through all 3 of these sets like that. Okay. Now the next one is a single. Sorry, I can't talk this morning. Do not yarn over. Just insert your hook, then yarn over. Pull through. You have 2 sets on your hook. Yarn over, pull through both. Okay, that's a single. And then for this last one is just a slip stitch. Do not yarn over. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Do not yarn back over again, and just pull straight through that other last little bit. Okay, and then see how it kind of tapered down. You have less of a gap here. Instead of that big gap like we had before, you only have this little bitty gap here. Okay. Alright, now you're going to want to take a little bit of yarn and cut it off about there. You can take that stitch marker out now. We don't need that anymore. Alright, now take your yarn over and pull it through to make a little knot. Pull it all the way through. Just make you a little knot there. It kind of helps secure it a little better. And you're going to want to get your needle. I'm using a size 16 yarn needle. Okay. Now I'm going to do the inside part first. Move these out the way. Whoops, that one fell. That's okay. Alright, so before you put your yarn on your needle, you want to make sure you pull this good and tight again, just to make sure that it's still nice and snug. Now you just pick whichever strand you want and go ahead and thread it. And like I said, this is just like it would be if it was only one, except it's with 2. So you're going to go ahead and just sew it through however you feel most comfortable. Personally, I like to go around the circle at least one full time and then go backwards around the circle. For this particular part. Oh, sorry. Didn't realize you couldn't see what I was doing. So I went around the circle one full time. You can see where my other tail is right there. And now I'm going to skip those 2 pieces of yarn there, and then I'm going to go backwards a bit. Just to help make that a little more snug. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and cut that off. And then I'll do the same thing with this one. I'll make sure I keep this one in camera. Sorry about that again. I'm still getting used to this whole where the camera is and isn't thing. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to go in right here. And we're just going to go around our circle the best we can. And pull tight as we're going. You want to go at least one full go around and then just a little bit further to help make sure it's nice and snug. Okay. And then we'll skip a couple of pieces of, or a couple of strands of yarn there, and then we'll just go backwards a little bit. And then pull nice and snug. And then snip your yarn. So that's the easy one. Now this one, a little trickier. You got all these holes and all that you gotta hide in. So we're gonna go ahead and thread our needle. Oh, get in there. Okay. Doesn't want to cooperate. I will make you cut that bit off that messed up on me. Okay. Now what I like to do, just to kind of help secure that knot a bit more, is go in right here in this stitch and then just kind of loop it back through. Just to kind of help secure that knot a bit more. And then I flip it to the inside. And then I just find a couple of good spots to weave my yarn into. I think that's a good spot. And then there's a good spot. Just kind of weave back and forth. And then there's a little spot. And then there's a little spot. And then I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to go up this way. Then I'm going to go that way. Oops. And then that should be good there. Oh, where does it just go? Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And then we'll be done. Okay, so I'm going to go from the front to the back and through that hole. Right there, if you can see that. And then just pull it through, just to kind of help secure that knot a little bit more. And then with the red, I went down and I went that way. So with the white, I'm going to go down and come this way. So I'm going to go cut through those two, and go back up through there. And then I think I'm just going to go straight through a couple of these. Cut down that way, and cut back up that way. Skip those two there, and then cut back through. There's really no perfect way to sew in your ends. It's all about personal preference and what works best for you and how you like to do it and all that. So see, this is what I was talking about. You got this little bit here where it tapers down, but there's no big seam like on the other hats. On the other style hats, you got the edge right here is nice and flat all the way around, but you'll have a big seam that comes all the way down. So either way you go, you're going to have a slight oddball, but I think overall it turned out pretty good. You put that in the back and you won't even notice it. See? You won't even notice it in the back. But that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you think the hat's just as cute as I do. And we'll see you guys next time. Actually, we'll see you next week, because I get a whole week off. Bye.